Just position the Baktrack ball whilst you're lying on your back behind the point of your skull, and that little area, it'll just sit nicely. And it's amazing how much this will release through your neck and shoulders and just general stress. You carry a lot of stress and tension through your shoulders and neck, which actually radiates up to the top part of your head. So by having the Baktrack ball in this position, and you'll just sit really nicely at the pointy part of the back of your head, and that'll just slowly release, and you'll feel the tension going down through your neck and shoulders, and it's a wonderful way to release. Take your time here. There's no reason to rush this trigger point. And what it'll do is release so much through that upper body.
The upper trapezius muscles are often responsible for neck and shoulder tension, and the Baktrack ball is a very effective way to relax them. Lay down and place the ball at the top of the shoulder area. Use the feet by pressing into the heads of the balls. Rock to one side to increase the area of contact. Try changing the position of the ball. Pressing into and also rocking from side to side as you relax the upper neck muscles.
Here's a great way to use the Baktrack ball if you've been doing a bit of upper body things like lifting movements, pulling, pushing movements where the upper body's had to work pretty hard. You just want to be lying on a bit of a diagonal, and you want to position that Baktrack ball underneath your shoulder blades. That's where the rhomboids are located, and it'll feel quite tender and quite tight initially, but what you want to try and do is just let your shoulder blade and your shoulder just release over the Baktrack ball, and that's a really nice sensation. By having that diagonal, it just allows you to access the shoulder blade region a lot more easily, and also allows you to breathe and release your shoulder over the top of the Baktrack ball. Position the Baktrack ball right at the back part of your shoulder whilst you're lying down. This area is also known as the rotator cuff in your shoulder. It's a really important stabilizing muscle, and it's really important to get some length through here because it spends so much time shortening and holding your shoulder in a good position. So this will feel really intense initially, and you can adjust where you position that Baktrack ball once it's released, but by just taking that arm in and out, so bring it into your midline and then take it out like I've done there, that'll really open the shoulder and chest, and you want the shoulder, posterior shoulder, to relax over the Baktrack ball, and you'll be able to access a really deep part of the posterior back capsule. Releasing through the other part of your shoulder is really important. By lying on the side, you can position the Baktrack ball where it can access the full part of that muscly part of your shoulder, and it'll get a nice sense of release through the shoulder frame, which is very, very important. By lying on the side, you're able to just get a gentle rock from side to side. It's just a subtle movement, but that'll get all through your deltoid region and the shoulder region and provide a nice release through that capsule. It's a trigger point and an area which you can just access gently. By actually lying on the side, you're putting a lot of your body weight through it, so there's a lot of tension, and it's a great way to release through your shoulder.
As you might be aware, the tricep extends the arm and is being used every time we weight bear through the arm. Here's a great way to release the tricep apart from the conventional overhead stretch. Lie down onto the ball and place the Baktrack ball underneath the tricep. Shift the body so that the ball can roll along the length of the muscle. Use the opposite hand to guide the movement and the weight of the body. Try some side-to-side moves. Or circular motions using the opposite arm. You can increase the pressure being placed down onto the muscle, and it's a very effective massage technique for the tricep.
The positioning of the Baktrack ball is important here on the fleshy part of your bicep, and also what you need to do is position your arm out to the side and have the palm facing towards your feet or to the lower part of your body. What that does is allows you to really access the full part of your bicep, not just one area. And once you've released and you've found the tender spot or the tight spot, you can just roll through it quite nicely. And it also actually creates a bit of movement through the shoulder capsule, but also gets into the bicep quite nicely. As we've said earlier, often when you work the upper body, you forget to release through the areas such as your shoulder, tricep and bicep. This is a great way to do that. Yeah, latissimus dorsi, also known as the lats, is an area which just sits above and also just on the rib cage. It's a big muscle in your back and also on the side of the trunk, which gets a lot of work if you've been using the back part of your body and often gets neglected in terms of getting released. But you've got to position the Baktrack ball, as I said, just above the rib cage and right on top of that big chunky fleshy muscle, and just a slight roll will really release through there. It's quite intense, but what you'll do is actually open the gap between the bottom part of your rib cage and often the lower part, which is your hips, and that's a great piece of space to lengthen. And obviously that big muscle needs to be released if you've been exercising it a lot.
The subscapularis muscle is a triangular muscle that is located in the front of the shoulder blade, and it works to achieve internal rotation of the arm. It's an important rotator cuff muscle that's responsible for maintaining the support structures of the shoulder. To release tension in this area, place the Baktrack ball below the armpit and to the side of the scapula or shoulder blade. Rolling the ball up and down along the length of the muscle will help you to find tender areas. Shift your weight backwards and forwards slightly, all the time pressing the ball towards the back of the shoulder blade. Releasing this area should help with freeing up the arm and increasing range of movement.
Position the Baktrack ball at the top part of your chest and just have yourself in like a sort of diamond position with your head facing in the middle of your thumbs, which is just above the top of your head, and just slowly let the Baktrack ball release through the muscles in your chest. And just to add a little bit more, I guess, intensity to this and create more, I guess, range of movement through your pectoralis region, through your chest, just take one arm out to the side which is being released, and that'll feel really, really nice, and you'll feel the length coming through the chest and obviously through that arm. then bring it back to the original position, and then just turn your head away slightly, and then take that arm out. And what you can do, which you'll see there with my fingers, you're almost just reaching a little bit further. That creates that length through the chest, a little bit through the shoulder blade, but wonderful for the upper body. The jaw is an area which, believe it or not, needs to be released and needs to be triggered, because it has an impact on how your neck and shoulders can feel, and obviously just general stress, you'll carry it through that part of your body. And just by sitting on the side of your jaw, you'll feel it really tender. That place is physically called the mandible, but you put that on that really fleshy part of your jaw and you'll feel the release, and actually shoots down through your neck and obviously a little bit through your shoulder. A really nice way to sort of go to sleep. Position the Baktrack ball at the top of the mat, and you're just going to be lying flat into this release, and you literally place it on the forehead. So this is a really good release for people who particularly suffer from migraines. If you've been doing a lot of upper body, particularly work through the traps, the neck area, this is an area which will actually release, because these trigger points through here can actually calm through the upper body and through the trapezius area, which is a part of the body which is hard to access, and a sense of general well-being is really good. An important thing to do is notice what I've done there is a chin tuck, so you've got a nice neutral I guess position within the neck. It's not hinging and it's not I guess compressed, which is very important.
We often use our hands more than we think, and the areas within our hands can sometimes affect the upper arm. To aid in releasing this area, begin to press directly downwards onto the Baktrack ball. Use the other hand to assist the pressure. Begin moving the hand forward and backwards, side to side, and in a slight circular motion. Again, stay on areas that feel strong to palpate, usually on the thumb side of the hand. This is a very popular trigger point area, the effects of which can be felt up the entire arm. Often the front of the forearm becomes sore due to the tension in the wrist flexors. These muscles work to move the hand forwards. With the palm of the hand facing downwards, begin rolling the ball from the elbow through to the wrist. You can use the other hand to assist with the pressure and guide the motion. Move slightly from side to side as you roll, both on the outer aspects and on the inner aspects of the forearm. Press down on any areas that feel good to release. The wrist extensors are located at the back of the arm. They work to lift the back of the hand upwards, and they're a very common group of muscles that work in activities when typing on a keyboard. So to release these muscles, try placing the forearm onto the Baktrack ball and begin moving along the length of the muscle. You can use the other hand to press downwards and increase the pressure. Press slightly on the inner aspects and the outer aspects of the wrist extensors. And stay on any areas that you feel tight and feel the muscle relaxing.
This is a great way to use the Baktrack ball at the front part of the shoulder. Place it right at the front part, and what will help you access the anterior deltoid even better is by facing the palm up. That repositions the shoulder in the shoulder capsule and allows you to access the area in a nice deep way. It's a part of the shoulder and a part of the upper body which gets used a lot but often gets neglected in terms of releasing through that area. This is a great way of doing exactly that by allowing the shoulder just to fold over the top of the Baktrack ball and release gently.
The area of the upper arm can often be tight, but it's not always noticeable. This can sometimes travel down the whole length of the arm. Try rolling the Baktrack ball up and down the wall as you press into the muscle. Try changing into different places of the arm. By placing the ball more vertically, you can massage more transversely. Again, move the position of the ball into different areas of the muscle. Stay on any areas of tension and tightness. Rolling out the forearm is a great way to release tension due to excessive movements of the wrist and hand. Place the ball under the forearm just below the elbow. Move the ball up and down by bending the knees. Vary the position of the ball to find the most effective areas. And vary the effectiveness by pushing more or less into the wall. If you rock forwards and backwards, you can access different areas of the forearm. Shake the arm out a little to promote good circulation. The neck region is a common site of tension and can contribute to headaches and stress. A good way to release this area is to place the Baktrack ball at the base of the head and neck area. You can use your hands to keep the ball in place and try nodding the head up and down. Move the head slightly from side to side. Stay and rest in any areas that feel good to palpate. You could also use the Baktrack ball onto the muscles by pressing with the hands and massage your tension away.